सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। संजय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाभिष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः। श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदम् विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन।
Feels nice to be back. Oh, glad to see all of you again. If I fall asleep in class, you will forgive me. Om Shruti Smriti Puranaanam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The third chapter ended on the note Jahi Shatrum Mahabaho Kamarupam Durasadam. Shatrum Jahi. Jahi means win over, kill. Kill what? The enemy. Kill the enemy. O you mighty armed Arjuna. And why is he mighty armed? He is mighty armed because he is very good at killing the enemies outside. And what about the enemies within? Raga Dvesha mostly. So please subdue the enemies within in the form of kama, which is when you split kama, then you have raga dvesha. This is what he is told, and on this auspicious note, the third chapter closes. Now, for a change, the fourth chapter does not open with Arjuna's question, which means that there is a sangati. Sangati means a connection between the last verse of the third chapter and then when we enter the first verse of the fourth chapter, there must be some kind of a continuity, because Lord Krishna is talking. When we talk, we don't say, now I am starting the fourth chapter. Nobody talks like that. As I said, the chapters were put much later. Chapters were made later on by some other scholars or scholar, and then for ease of chanting, for ease of understanding, they were grouped according to certain topics. Somebody must have studied it so well to do that. That's just some Mahamati must have done it. So this is but usually we don't say, now I'm talking another chapter. Nobody talks like that. So that means we have to take it as a continuous thing. And the continuity here is very interesting, continuity. Because the fourth chapter opens with Lord Krishna's lament. And what is that lament? The lament is that I have been teaching this for a very long time. What have you been teaching? I have been teaching dharma and moksha, basically. Very long time. A life of dharma, a life of a nishtha towards dharma. Nishtha means nitaram sthitihi. Life of nishtha for dharma, and also once there is paripakvata, means there is a certain ripeness after the dharma has been gained, then I have been teaching moksha, shreyas. But then he laments, we'll see that, he laments that alas, it is not catching, meaning it's falling out of vogue. Here we are saying, oh, now this is Kali Yuga, nobody is interested in moksha, and then nobody is interested in dharma also for that matter. So then we can feel better now, because even 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna is saying the same thing. So this is how the connection is. And what is the connection? Connection means sangati. What is the connection? The connection between Jahishatrum Mahabaho, Kama Rupam Durasadam, manage your raga dveshas, kill the enemy in the form of the raga and the dvesha, O Arjuna, is followed by this knowledge which is so old and everything is kind of out of vogue these days. So that means what? That this knowledge of how to manage the raga dveshas, that is basically through dharma, karma yoga, that has gone. Karma yoga is not there anymore. And then what else is not there? Jnana is also not there. So therefore this chapter is appropriately titled. What is the title of this chapter? You see so that you'll remember. Yeah, Jnana Karma. So this is the title of the chapter. Jnana and Karma both are discussed. Karma Yoga and Jnana both are discussed, and that's why that is the title of the chapter. So then let us read through the first couple of verses. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manurikshvakave Bravid Evam Parampara Praptam Idam Rajarshayo Viduhu Sakale Neha Mahata Yogo Nashtaf Parantapa Imam Yogam This yoga, what kind of yoga was it? Avyayam yogam. Avyayam means imperishable. Aksharam, avyayam, same thing. That which never declines, that which never changes, that which doesn't perish. This imperishable yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, all this was taught by me. To whom? Vivaswan. Who is Vivaswan? Bhagavan in the form of the sun. And then this Vivaswan, the starter of this solar dynasty. We have two main dynasties, solar dynasty and lunar dynasty. So Vivaswan, the founder of the solar dynasty, Vivaswan then gave it to his progeny Manu. And then Manu gave it to the king whose name is Ikshvaku, who is the ancestor of Lord Rama. Lord Rama is from solar dynasty. And then Lord Krishna is from lunar dynasty. So therefore, he gave it to Manu, who in turn gave it to Ikshvaku. And what was this yoga? Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu. Rajanascha Rishayascha Viduhu. Those who are Rajas, this was not the Guru Parampara, even the royal Parampara. There was also a royal Parampara in addition to the Guru Parampara. And so the royals also knew it, one meaning we can take. And the Rishis also knew it. Simple Dvandva we can take, simple Samasa. Or we can say, those who were Rishis in the royal households knew it. You see the difference? You want me to repeat? I'm seeing so many blank faces. Okay. So first meaning is the Rajas and the Rishis knew it. Second meaning is Rishis who were working in the royal household, they knew it. Is that clear now? Say yes even if you don't want to. So, Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu. And here's the lament. Sakalena iha mahata kalena. What happened? Yogaha nashtaha. This yoga, and it's not a contradiction that he is calling it avyaya. Imam avyayam yogam, and then suddenly it looks like a contradiction. This avyayam yogam, what happened to this avyaya yoga? Nashtaha. No, we shouldn't take it like that. Why is it nashta? We should see. It's not that the yoga is nashta. It's a kind of a alankara, a figure of speech called displacement, a conscious displacement. It's not that the yoga is destroyed, it's that the people are destroyed. And then we are projecting it saying, oh, the yoga is gone. Yoga is not gone. Yoga is very much there. What is destroyed? People are destroyed. Kamena hataha sarve. They are all killed, destroyed by kama to begin with, and therefore since they are destroyed by kama, what is happening? They are not able to, there is no takers for dharma. And since there are no takers for dharma, then there is nobody who wants moksha either. This is the problem. So sad. We feel sad for Lord Krishna. So, and then he says, sakalena iha mahata yogaha nashtaha. This was because there is a long, two conditions are there. There is a long lapse of time where this parampara has not been nourished. It's not that it has died out, but it hasn't been nourished. People are not following it. People are not interested in this. The interests have gone all over the place, and this is again a very important connection to the last one, where Arjuna is asked to manage his desires and kill off the desires, just like he is killing the enemies outside. So here also that same connection is flowing, that nobody is a taker for this kind of a dedicated, committed lifestyle anymore. Who is saying? Not us. 5,000 years ago, this is what is being said. And then, one more verse he says, we won't chant it, but I'll just explain it. So he says that what I did in the 3rd chapter, he doesn't say 3rd chapter, I'm telling that for us. Lord Krishna says, what was done in the 3rd chapter is that yoga which I had given to Manu, who gave it to who? Ikshvaku. No, who gave it to Vivaswan, who gave it to Manu, who gave it to Ikshvaku. That same one, I gave it to you in the 3rd chapter. This Puratana Yoga, this ancient yoga of how to manage the Ragadveshas, how to prepare for this knowledge, how to gain this knowledge, how to get ready for this knowledge, all this, and along with the knowledge, was given to you. Because he wants to show how important this point is. And this also tells us how he sees Arjuna as a potential disseminator of this knowledge. Because Lord Krishna could have given it to anybody. But the problem is, if you give this knowledge to roadside riffraff, nothing will happen. They will just not even understand, they will just go about their day and they won't do anything about it. And so here, what is talked about is that I have chosen you. Why? Bhaktosi me. You are my devotee, sakha chaiti. And that's why this secret knowledge, because even if you explain, nobody understands. It's the best kept secret. Therefore, it is the best kept secret. Even if you talk about it, nobody understands. And so this kind of a knowledge was given by me to you out of my love for you, and also seeing that you are an adhikari, you are a bhakta. And you can go places with this knowledge. Now Arjuna speaks. Arjuna says, Aparam bhavato janma. Your birthday, we know when you were born. You were born on a rainy day in August. And we still celebrate with great enthusiasm. It is called Krishna Janmashtami. You were born on Ashtami day, on a rainy day. It could not stop raining that day. And then we know how old you are. And Aparam Bhavato Janma, meaning just few years back, meaning in terms of where is Manu and Ikshvaku and Vivaswan and where are you? We know when you were born. Aparam Bhavato Janma. Param Janma Vivasvatah. Param means much long ago, much before. Aparam means now. Now you are a contemporary of mine. And Vivaswan is what? Long ago. Vivaswan is not here available now. Vivaswan is long gone. Katham etad vijaniyam. How can I understand this? Tvam adau proktavaniti. You said in the beginning. How can you do this? In other words, Arjuna is having a doubt. Up till 3 chapters, he was okay. Now he is starting to talk in riddles. Because if you talk like this to anybody, if you say, yes, I was the Sanskrit teacher for Alexander the Great. Yeah. I gave Julius Caesar some advice. Yeah. So next time when you walk in the dining hall, people will back off from you, like slowly. They won't say anything, but they'll just back off. If you go sit next to them, they will take their plate and slowly move this side. Nothing will be said. This is exactly how crazy it sounds. So therefore he says, I need to ask this. So therefore now we have an Arjuna Uvacha. This is very puzzling. Krishna, you were born you are a contemporary, you were born. We know when you were born. We celebrate your birthday. And we know when Vivaswan was born, he belongs to a different era. Not even era, but it belongs to hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And then how can I understand that you told Vivaswan? How to best understand this? Adi Shankara in the commentary says, he knew full well Lord Krishna is Bhagavan. But he wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. Not from the horse's mouth, from Lord Krishna's mouth. He wanted to hear it himself. And so, and then that's why he says this. Why? Because the 4th chapter, the first big topic we will encounter is Avataravada. What is Avataravada? The discussion of Avatara. Lord Krishna as an Avatara. Now, this causes a lot of, what's the word for it? A lot of problems. Because it is there in other religions also, but we make our livelihood on avatars. How many we have? 10. Not 1, not 2. Not some god-like creature accidentally walking on the earth. No. We have them coming regularly. And after these 10 run out, 10 more will come. Don't worry. We'll be in a different thing, different yuga, and then we'll have perhaps different names, different forms, doesn't matter. But we are not shy of avatara. So, this reality of this avatara must be understood, and that is one of the purposes of the 4th chapter. There's a lot to talk about here. That's why we won't be spending a lot of time chanting many verses, but you will get the whole gist of it, don't worry. So the first topic is what? Avataravada. Now what is this avatara if we ask? We see that there are many contentions. First we have to see, where does the avatara belong? Which order of reality? We have discussed 3 orders of reality, have we not? Say yes, even if you don't remember. The first order of reality is the absolute reality, which is called Paramarthika. Paramarthikam Sat. Paramarthiki Satta. Absolute reality, no doer, no done in, no action, no omissions, no commissions, nothing. All that is there is one undifferentiated consciousness. That is what is Paramarthika Satta. Brahman consciousness, which is at once Atma, the truth of myself. Then we have, what is that? Vyavaharika Satta, empirical reality, which is available for transaction. And what is in this transactable reality? Give, take, eat, drink, go, act, sit and act, do this, do that, doer, and then karta, bhokta. All these statuses are in this Vyavaharika reality. Then we have one more reality. What is that? Pratibhasika. See, it's all coming back. Now, Pratibhasika, which is my own subjective reality. My own subjective reality. So the question that is asked and discussed a lot is to which reality does the avatara belong? To which reality of these 3 that were just summarized, to which reality does the avatara belong? What will we say if we are asked that? None of them? No, we can't say none of them. If we say Paramarthika, That's interesting that let's start with Paramarthika. If we choose Paramarthiki Satta, if we say Lord Krishna as an avatara who walks on the earth is belonging to the Paramarthika Satta, then that means the whole sentence is a lie. Because if you are in the Paramarthika Satta, you will not be walking on earth or anywhere else for that matter. Because we saw in the Mundakopanishad, yattad adreshcham agrahyam agotram avarnam apanipadam achakshushtrotram. So therefore, it is not available for transaction. Was Krishna available for transaction? Yes. So therefore, which reality shall we put him in? Vyavaharika. Why not Pratibhasika? Why not Pratibhasika? Because everybody could see him. Yeah. Pratibhasika, remember, if you want to differentiate between the two, Pratibhasika is like this. I see it, therefore it is there. Vyavaharika is, it is there, therefore I see it. You see the difference? Yeah. So like this, we have to differentiate. And so, Pratibhasika is, if Lord Krishna's body was Pratibhasika in nature, then only one or two people would have seen him. But everybody saw, everybody could interact, everybody could conduct business. So that means what? Vyavaharikam. So the avatara's body, a mind complex, is firmly in the Vyavaharika Satta because that's where it is needed to be. The other two are not so problematic as this one. Pratibhasika is problematic only for one person. And because Vyavaharika is processed through everybody's Pratibhasika, Vyavaharika becomes as though problematic. That is why he is in the Vyavaharika Satta. First we have to understand. Then second thing is this. Another contention is made that this is just like a Puranic story or an Itihasa story. Lord Krishna coming on earth, Lord Rama walking on earth. This has no primary scripture backing. Upanishad backing is not there. Therefore what? Throw away the Bhagavad Gita, it's not worth reading. Because it doesn't have it just is saying things about the avatara, discussing all these things in the 4th chapter, but therefore it is not there. It is not real. Now, we beg to differ. Why do we beg to differ? Because in the Kenopanishad, we have the first instance of avatara. Where, right there, there is a very beautiful story. Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, all these devatas were celebrating. Soma juice was flowing, all the glasses were clinking, and then in this inebriation means in this drunken state, this is all metaphoric. Doesn't matter what they were drinking. Drunken means the ahankara was drunk with pride, with a cocktail of pride. So what did they say? They were just celebrating a victory. And in celebrating this victory, they said, Asmakameva Vijayaha, Asmakameva Mahima iti. This victory is ours. This glory is also ours. And so saying, lot of discussions were taking place. Agni said, do you see that fellow? How? I said, phew. And then he got all scorched and ran home crying for his mummy. And then Indra said, you had to at least do some things. But you know what? I didn't do anything. I just appeared and they ran away. Like this, each one was saying wonderful things about oneself, and they were having a mutual appreciation society in this party. And then suddenly, one very resplendent being comes into the party, gate crashes the party. No invitation card. But then, even though he is an imposter, he, she, amorphous being, just a being of light, even though this entity is there without an invitation card, everybody is still helplessly attracted to this entity. So everybody forgets to question, show your invitation card, who invited you, whose guest are you, your name should be on the list of guests, your name is not on the list, like that they should have told. But everybody was in love with this yaksha. Yaksha means some kind of a celestial being. Everybody was in love, and then what happened was that they were all just mesmerized. Finally, Indra comes to his senses. Indra won't go. He's too big. Okay, Ahankara is there. So he sends a lackey, Agni. Agni means Agragami, the one who always goes first. That's why he's called Jata Vedaha. Jate Jate Vidyate. As soon as the child is born, what will the doctor or the midwife do? Touch the baby. Touch the baby to see if it is warm. Yes, that is Agni. As soon as one is born, one senses Agni. That temperature, 98.6, whatever that normal temperature, that's Agni in the body. And so he calls Agni and he says, go for, you are the one who goes in front always. Rush, go find out who this yaksha is. Agni says, yes, I can do this. I also want to know who it is. So he goes in search of the yaksha, stands in front of him, but before he can ask, who are you? Yaksha says, who are you? It's like somebody approaching Donald Trump and saying, who are you? You know? Never is 1 minute also is not there where his news doesn't come. Everybody knows the face. Everybody knows the name. And then supposing somebody comes and says, who are you? It's like a slap on the face. Agni is stupefied. He's like, what? Me? You're asking me who I am? I'm Jata Veda. Jata Veda also means the giver of wealth. Why? Because everybody does rituals where? Into Agni. I'm the mail carrier. Not M-A-L-E, okay? M-A-I-L. I'm the mail carrier of all your wishes and prayers to various devatas. This is me, this is Agni. Yaksha is relentless. Second slap comes when he says, Kasmins tvai viryam asti. What are you famous for? What do you mean, what am I famous for? Yadidam kinchit. Whatever is there in this jagat, I can convert it into ashes. Just now I am coming from Los Angeles. I had 250,000 homes for lunch. No problem, I can have even more because I have no cholesterol problem, no indigestion, nothing. Keep on putting ghee. Will I say enough? No. That's why my name is Anala. Alam na vidyate yasya, the one who does not know the meaning of the word enough. This is me. Oh, you are a pyromaniac, eh? You like to burn things, huh? Okay, no problem. And he just searches, he puts one dry blade of grass, puts it in the middle and he says, burn this. Let's see you burn this. Third slap for Agni. Because if you had given him, one forest to burn, okay, at least that will take a little bit of time. Here, this dry blade of grass, what a test. Agni has 7 tongues. Kali, they all have names. Kali, Karali, Manojava, Sudhumra Varna, Visphulingini, Devi, like this. All these things are there. 7 tongues, 7 wives, the consorts of fire. So he says, for this small little miserable blade of grass, I don't need to call the 7 tongues, I'll just go foo, and it should just go, But nothing happened, it didn't even change color. Then he said, okay, let me just get all the tongues out, and then everything around the table where it was kept burnt, but the stick, that little blade of grass, was intact. He said, I better microwave it. That's the only way to do right now. But the microwaving also did not change any color. How many times he was insulted already? 3 times he was insulted. He said, okay, I can't take it anymore. He just slunk back and he says, I was just socializing. I could not find out who Yaksha is. Indra says, Vayu, you go. Okay, I'll go. And the same exact story repeats itself. He wants to ask Yaksha, who are you? Yaksha first says, who are you? What do you mean, who am I? I'm Vayu. Vahu? Yeah, I'm Vayu. I'm Vayu. You have to understand. And everything, Matarishva I am. Matarishvayati, that which moves about in space, that's what I am. Yaksha doesn't seem impressed. Yaksha says, Kasmis Tvaibiriam asti. Oh, what is your accolade to fame? What is your claim to fame? Why are you doing, all this? And he says, whatever can be blown away in this jagat, yat kinchit asti, I am the blower of that. In fact, I'll blow your mind by my prowess. And then what? What does he do, you think? Same blade of grass puts in front and says, can you blow this? You must be kidding me. No joke this. Blow this. Nothing happens. And then he brings tsunami force winds, hurricane force winds. Actually, the word hurricane is a wrong spelling. It should be hurricane. Okay? Yeah. That's what it is. But anyhow, so these hurricane force winds and this big, tsunami type winds, all these things he brings. And that stick, that little blade of grass, doesn't shift even 1/10 or 1/100th, 1,000th of a millimeter also, it does not shift. He also says, okay, 3 slaps I have got for my reputation. If I stand here, everybody will start making fun of me. So he also shimmies back. And he also says, it was a very big party. I couldn't find out who he was. Agni and Vayu exchange very knowing looks. They know what has happened. They haven't told Indra. That's all, because they don't want to get further humiliated. So then what? Indra says, both of you are useless. Now I only have to go. You can't even bring one simple information to me. At least the other two had a long conversation and got some proverbial slaps from Yaksha. But as soon as Indra went, what happened? Yaksha disappears. Yaksha gone. He says, what? What happened over here? But he is very sattvic and contemplative in nature. That's why he's the Nirukta that we talked about today. Nirukta means the ancient Sanskrit dictionary of synonym, dictionary cum thesaurus it is. It's a dictionary and it also has synonyms and antonyms. So the Nirukta says that the derivation of the word Indra, one of the derivation is Indriyanam Raja. Indra, the one who is a master of the sense organs, all the sense organs. You can also take organs of action because it doesn't supply which organ. So the one who is in charge of the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, is called Indra. So that means what? He is sattvic, he is very, very patient, and so he sits there with the same place where the Yaksha disappeared. He sits there and meditates. One more avatara comes. This time, the teacher of the Upanishad, her name is Haimavati Uma. She is as resplendent as the knowledge, and then she slowly gives the knowledge to Indra, who then teaches Agni, Vayu, etc., and all of them become truly great. They are not now pretending to be great. In the beginning of the story, they were pretending to be great. Now they are what? Truly great. This is the story. Here we see Avatara. Yeah, short time, one job Avatara. What was the job? To cut down the ego of these fellows. And to understand that this is Brahman, Ishvara is in charge of the giver of the results of action, so you cannot take any credit. This was the lesson that was given. So this Avatara, this manifested from nowhere, was a knowing being, knew the self, had self-knowledge, and was teaching in his or her own way to all the people. This is the Upanishadic backing for Avatara. And so here the Lord Krishna also, Krishna's Avatara is also discussed. One of the first topics that are discussed in that is discussed in the 4th chapter is called Avatara Vada. So the Avatara belongs to the Vyavaharika Satta. But then the birth of the Avatara has to be somehow not immaculate. We find this in Christianity. Christ was born, but then it was an immaculate birth. Why? Because the Avatara does not have karma for a immaculate birth. Bhagavan doesn't have karma. If Bhagavan wants to come on earth and have a body, how to do this? Of course, one's magic can be used, that's there. But then more fun it is to use the karma of the people. What do you mean the karma of the people? The people who are very fed up, who are waiting for the Avatara to come, pray, where are you? How can you keep looking at this? So many people dying, so many people in poverty, so many people in need, so many people miserable, all these things. How can you keep looking at this? Come here, do something. And so each one starts to pray like that. Prayer generates karma phala, does it not? Yes. So when you pray, prayer is an action. Every action has a result. Prayer also has a result. So two kinds of results are talked about. Drishta phalam, immediate result, visible result, and then intangible results, adrishta phalam, that are deferred, that can come later. So this is the body of the Avatara. Always will have some kind of a twist in the plot of the birth story. Why? Because it is not born the normal, quote unquote, normal way. If it were born the normal way, then what is the cause of the birth? Karma. Whose karma? Your own karma. It's not that your neighbor's karma you are doing in this life. No. Even though sometimes people say, oh, I took away your karma and all. Generally speaking, nobody can take away anybody's karma. You have to exhaust your own karma. And so here, does Bhagavan have karma? Say no. So we can move on. Okay, yeah. So Bhagavan cannot have karma. Bhagavan does not have karma. In fact, the definition of Bhagavan is who? The one who does not have karma is Bhagavan. Correct? Okay. So then if Bhagavan has to walk on the earth and in a human body or in any body, because Bhagavan has come as what is that? Yes, tortoise, turtle, something, all these things. So even that body, whatever body Bhagavan has to arrive in, that body should not be born of the residue of karma from previous lives. Then Bhagavan will be what? One of everyone? One with everybody? And so here Bhagavan will not stand out, and so therefore the magic body of Bhagavan is made from karma, all right, but not Bhagavan's karma. Whose karma? All our punya karma. Whenever we say, oh my God, where are you? The result of that is creating the body of Bhagavan. That is the adrishta. Adrishta phala is this. It's not drishta phala, because drishta phala means it should immediately come, and like what is that? Rubbing one lamp and one genie comes. That is drishta phala. You rub the lamp 3 times and then one genie comes and says, what? You are my master, you have released me, what? Now you have to keep me busy. You have to tell me what you want. Okay, build me the biggest palace. And this fellow thinks I'm keeping him busy. And then that genie comes back in half a minute and says, here is your palace. So, and like this, he says, if you don't keep me busy, I'll eat you up. So it's not, Bhagavan is not like that. It's not immediate. It takes time. And so therefore, people praying. Trahimam, Pahimam from Duryodhana et al. And then all these people praying for a long time, and the situation worsening so much. That's why Avatara is not here now. Why? Because there are people studying the Bhagavad Gita. there are people studying the Upanishads everywhere. So Bhagavan says, okay, I'll have a tea break. No problem. They are doing all right. As long as Bhagavad Gita is studied, as long as Upanishad is studied, what will be there? There will be some semblance of dharma will be there. So I don't have to rush. And so that's why Bhagavan, Bhagavati, they are taking it easy. So here we are talking of the karma. The karma is of the people. Now the question is, what kind of karma is it? Is it a papa body or a punya body? Huh? Punya, because prayer is what? Punya karma. So it will be punya body. But to show that all the things that are happening to the, to all the human beings are also happening to me. Me means from the standpoint of the avatara, certain things will be there based on the time of birth. Shani was in the wrong place and whatnot, so many things. Like if you see Rama's life, Rama didn't have a good life, sad life. Sita also very sad life. So therefore, so like this we see that the karma is a punya karma, but then we will see the avatara undergoing some difficulties because of the need to show that this is a human body. So because there will be a time of birth, so based on the time of birth, certain things will be in the wrong place, planets and things like that. Because even now we can draw Lord Krishna's horoscope, Lord Rama's horoscope. People have drawn it up with accuracy. And you can predict which Mahadasha started. Mahadasha means a big period in time. When he went to the forest, when everything changed. All this is predictable. So the avatara body is belonging to the Vyavaharika Satta, not Pratibhasika. Pratibhasika is when you close your eyes, meditate, and then you have darshan of Bhagavan. And that darshan is what? Whose darshan? Your own private darshan. Right? It's not a public darshan. If you have a private darshan, that is Pratibhasika. Like Meera had it, and then Surdas was seeing Lord Krishna. So all these bhakti saints, they were mad after Bhagavan and they would have regular darshan of Bhagavan. But those in that darshan, they were not, nobody else around them was seeing this. This is what is called some kind of a manasika darshan. That is Pratibhasika, but this is Vyavaharika. Vyavaharika means everybody is seeing this. So this is the avatara, and so the punya has to be converted into the body. How punya is again intangible, adrishta even more invisible, intangible. How does this punya get converted into a body? This Bhagavan will himself explain in this verse. There, what is said is that the punya gets converted by magic. What is that magic? Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti. The Maya Shakti is responsible for converting the punya into this body. So now one more, detail, trivia. We are playing avatar trivia. So one more trivia about the avatara is that it can be a one-job avatara. Like what? This Kurma, Varaha, all these are one job. They had to save the earth from the floods and all these things. One job avatara. The job done, the avatara gone. But Rama and Krishna, Buddha also, are many job avatars. So many things they did. They didn't do only just one thing. Saved Ahilya, killed a few demons on the way, and then did this, did that, all these things. So these are all, so you can have a one job avatara, or you can have a many job avatara, but this is how the avatara comes. And then the avatara is, the purpose of the avatara, Lord Krishna himself will say, is to answer the prayers of all the people who have prayed. And so here Arjuna sets it up by asking, how could you have told Vivaswan? How could you have told Manu like this? And then Lord Krishna gives the first answer is a wonderful answer. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tava charjuna Tanyaham veda sarvani Natvam vetha parantapa. Yeah. Simple, he says. Both of us, you and me, have spent a lot of births. Me as Varaha, Kurma, etc. I have had many births as avatars because I am birthless. You are also birthless, but you don't know that. That's why Bahuni me vyatitani. And what? Tvamcha, you also have had many births. What's the difference between us? Tanyaham vetha sarvani. I know all the births. Whose births? Mine and yours and everybody else's in this universe. Because I have put them in those places. And then what? Natvam vetha parantapa. Parantapa means parantapayatiti. You may be the scorcher of enemies and scorcher of foes. Here what? You are nothing and nobody because you don't understand the first thing about avatara. And continuing, he declares himself as an avatara. Ajopi sannavyayatma Bhutanam ishvaropi san Prakritim swamadhisthaya Sambhavamyatma mayaya. How does this avatara come into being is talked about in the 6th verse. So, how does this avatara come into being? So, even though being, what am I? Ajaha, unborn. I have no birth. Why? I am Bhagavan. So, Bhagavan doesn't have any birth. So, I am Satchidananda. If whether we take it from the standpoint of the Swarupa Lakshana or Tatastha Lakshana, Satchidananda we say or Ishvara we say, either way there is no birth at all. How can there be birth? There is no birth. And Ajaha api san avyayatma. Avyayatma means the one whose understanding does not change at all. The one whose knowledge is always omniscient, always omnipresent, always endless, limitless knowledge of limitless knowledge. And then even though I am the Lord of all living beings, Ish Bhutanam Ishvaropi San, even though I am all this, then still what do? I summon my Maya Shakti. Prakritim Swam. Whose Maya Shakti? Swam, my own Maya Shakti. Not somebody else's Maya Shakti. My own Maya Shakti I summon, adhisthaya, wielding this Maya Shakti, sambhavami, I am as though born. How? Atma Mayaya, by my own Maya, I am born. Very beautiful. I am born through my own Maya. Then this answers the question, how does the avatara, how does the punya of the people generated by the prayer calling for the avatara, how does it translate into this avatara's body? Then the next question is what? Why did you come? That is the next question. Why did you come? That is answered in the 7th verse. Let us see, 7th and 7th verse it is answered. Yada, very famous verse. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Yeah, very beautiful. These two verses describe the purpose of the avatara. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati. Glani means neglect. Whenever there is a upeksha of dharma, when dharma is set aside, neglected, meaning what? Nobody is following it. So when the dharma quotient in the society goes down, and when the dharma quotient, what happens, goes down, what happens? Adharma goes up. There is a concomitant relationship between dharma going down, between dharma decreasing and adharma proliferating. So then what happens? So abhyutthanam, to lift up the dharma and to bring down adharma, I have to come. Why you have to come? Because the people are very bad at doing that on their own. They haven't done that, because if they are in the vyuha means a certain kind of a, what is that, like a spiral. If one is in a spiral of adharma, there is always like a downward spiral. One is not able to understand. And adharma is like this only, because in the beginning nobody will start off with a bank robbery, correct? What will you do? Some small thing people will steal, and then they are not caught. Confidence rises. And when the confidence rises, something else happens. They feel like it is correct. And they'll give examples from history also. Robin Hood did it. Actually, his name should have been Robbing Hood. Okay? Yeah, one G was missing. Yeah. Yeah. Who appointed you to take from the rich and give to the poor? Did somebody appoint you? Nobody appointed. He appointed himself. And so like this, Robin Hood did it. And maybe Robin Hood did it with the best of intentions, but are you doing it with the same intentions? How do you know? we get desensitized. We get desensitized to dharma, the more we don't follow it, and then what happens? Adharma starts to get proliferate, and then adharma gets justified. We'll find people in society say, oh, it is just a white lie. What is this white lie? I'd like to know. It's okay to tell a white lie. Why? But still, this is where people are, and then when the adharma quotient goes up, then dharma goes down, or the other way around. Dharma goes down, adharma goes up, and then to bring back that balance, I reincarnate myself in every yuga, or even in one yuga more than once. Doesn't matter, as the need arises, I do that. Okay, you reincarnate yourself. How do you protect dharma? How do you bring down adharma? Because dharma is protected by protecting the dharmi. The person who practices dharma has to be protected. Dharma is not an entity on the road, like a gold biscuit, which has to be kept in a bank, protected. No. Dharma is in the head and the heart of the people who practice it. So therefore what? Paritranaya sadhunam. So therefore I will protect the people who are like sadhus, who don't harm people, who don't harm others. In the face of all difficulties, they are practicing dharma. Vinashaya cha dushkritam. Whereas all these baddies who are there, they need to be taught a lesson. They are spoiling this society, so they sometimes need to be even taken out. And then Sambhavami yuge yuge. Every yuga I come again and again. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.